Well, hey there, tubers, plussers, lurkers, peace. It's high news number two. I thought I'd try it again. It's nighttime, Friday the 13th, my favorite day. So I thought I'd share a bit with you. Um, and the main piece that I want to share with you is pot tea. I just made some, very simple. Uh, what I want to share is I made it from stems. Wow, people share more. Share more what we can do as people to save money. I just had somebody just, hey, could you, maybe I could find use for stems because really I was finding it difficult to keep up with the cost of medical. So I've been collecting stems, but I really thought that stems didn't have much THC content or medicinal property, but found out I was wrong. Um, I just found a really good recipe, which I will put on the bottom. Please subscribe. Give it the thumbs up if you like it. I will give a link to. It's a very simple recipe. Uh, in fact, why don't instead of a link, why don't I give you my recipe? Grind, grind your grind your stuff so you have about a quarter ounce, about 7 grams of twig, but grind it. Grind it good. If you have a good metal grinder, you know, they'll work. They'll work. Bring it down to a good ground consistency, but if you want to get it really fine, I don't think that's necessary. At least I'm pretty high. Um, I've had 1 cup, and it makes. I made two by heating up three because I drink big cups. But anyways, so for for that amount, I used a quarter ounce. But remember, that's a quarter ounce ground stem. And I'm talking, I was using big ugly stems. These are just, but they're ground. And you boil 3 cups of water. As soon as it's boiling, throw in your stems, throw in 1 tablespoon of butter. Believe me, that's important. 1 tablespoon of butter. Don't throw in margarine. Use butter. I don't care if you use salted or unsalted, but use butter. And then cover it. Turn it down. Cook that 7 minutes, 9 minutes. You know, the longer the better, but don't go crazy. Don't go cooking it 20 minutes. It isn't needed. 7 to 10 minutes. Remove it from the heat. Add take the heat off, turn off the heat. Add some tea. I use green tea. Just add a little bit of green tea. I used whole tea leaves, but you can use tea bags, whatever, because you're going to strain this. Throw it in, put the lid on, let it steep. You're not boiling it anymore, it's just going to steep. Let it steep 4 or 5 minutes. Doesn't matter, steep. Steep your tea. Then you have to drain it. Put it through a coffee filter. Strain it however you want to strain it, but strain it. I use a coffee filter. I used a coffee filter with a coffee filter, and that was too much, and it took forever. But don't need that much. And then you have tea. And believe me, it knocks you on your socks. I'm really, my body feels great for the first time in a long time. it's direct to the body and it's quick. I was quite impressed, and I am quite impressed, and maybe I shouldn't have had that right before bed, but maybe it'll help me sleep. We'll see. Uh, in So there's my recipe. Give it a try. Give it a try. It's really good tea. Add a bit of honey. I didn't have honey. I had to add a little bit of sugar. You can mask some of that flavor, but I like the flavor. I like the flavor. I like the flavor of marijuana. Um, so I was quite pleased with it. I'm going to have the other cup for breakfast tomorrow. Um, just to update any of you, I was very surprised Texas has entered a bill to remove throughout the state any mention of marijuana as a crime in everything, in every corner and facility of their legislature. It's a tough pass, but if it passes, that is a huge step forward. There is also a lot of anger over how the marijuana legalization has worked in DC because of the advocates had backed the legislation only because they were told that there would be compensations such as licenses permitted for venues or places within public to smoke, to facilitate the usage of the medicine, but it was passed with absolutely zero, only on private property. Therefore, only at home. Only at home. So, no tourists, no dispensaries with cafes, no people being out in public, which again puts us, the marijuana medical user, as a no, stay at home, hide at home and use it at home, because we don't want to see that you have something that needs that medicine. We don't want a society where somebody who has to take a certain kind of medicine is shunned. No, if you're going to accept it as medicine, it's medicine. It's not that medicine. Or we're not going to accept it. You can't sneak it in the back door that way. And another thing one last problem that I've raised, and so far MedPot Now, I raised it with MedPot Now in Vancouver and they haven't answered. I've asked them twice, is the cost of concentrates. Concentrates have become very, very important in the medical industry. The medical industry is starting to really understand the role they play in medicating, especially people like me. The less you smoke, the more you vape, the better. My voice isn't like this for a reason. So the cost of a gram of concentrates in Vancouver at the one that I deal with, MedPot Now, and most places, is between $65 and $90 a gram, and that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous for good concentrate when the street value is about $40 a gram, and down throughout the states most of people are paying 35 to 40 US a gram, and if you buy in bulk here on the street it's 35 a gram. They have to keep their prices within street prices, or you don't remove the street. And the street needs removed. We need, but that's a Health Canada issue, not a MedPot Now issue. MedPot Now does have to meet certain criteria, and I know that their suppliers probably have to meet a lot more standards than a street maker would, and they're probably ridiculous standards and costly. So those are things I'd love to be a part in helping reduce those costs. If that takes some activism, then MedPot Now should answer. Then maybe I could help. Because as people, as advocates, as users, as medical, as people with medical problems, we are all together in this issue and moving forward, and not only finding a society that can benefit medically from this wonderful product, but a society that can benefit in wellness beyond medical. This brings huge benefits economically, spiritually, lovingly, educationally, tax-wise. Anyways, I am rambling, but this is my second try at high news, and I hope you liked it better than my first try. I did have some actual news this time, and this time from MedPot Now is some wonderful silver kush. Beautiful stuff for going to sleep. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff for going to sleep. Nice. It looks more orange there, but it's really more silverish, and it's just beautiful. So all the best. Peace.